Guys, the feud with Plushenko and Elena Kostyleva is just ongoing. It is crazy. We can write this whole Netflix series about it because the amount of drama that is going on and the center of tension is all Elena Kostyleva. Let's break this all down so you can all have the gist of what was going on over these past few days. Yes, there is a lot. So it all started after the Grand Prix in Omsk. Lena Kostyleva didn't perform a clean performance and got second place, saying that it's natural for an athlete to not always be on top form. In the case of Omsk, there was a lack of concentration and fatigueness. He says that the child should be praised at least once, not saying she's crap and fat-assed, and that she would never succeed, from words of Elena Kostyleva. Elena Kostyleva constantly criticizes all the coaches that they can't do their job properly. He also gave Elena a new phone for her birthday. That way it doesn't get taken away regularly, because Elena Kostyleva does take away her phone because she doesn't want her to be distracted to reading comments or talking about anything, but it'll be easier if she did have the phone to communicate with the coaches. Elena has doubts and mistrust with Plushenko's academy because she feels like they can hurt Elena in some way. He doesn't understand why Elena is in a panic over second place with the injury that Elena was skating, especially as she's the one telling the media about all the injuries that Elena has, which is so true. Elena Kostyleva is suffering through a lot of injuries, and there's a severe injury that is happening to her that didn't cause her to be first place and skate her absolute best. But Elena Kostyleva isn't taking account into this. She thinks her daughter should always perform clean. Elena then responded that Plushenko was feeding this information to go against the mother. And Elena says that now she isn't even allowed to scold her daughter for bad behavior without it being called psychological pressure. She's confused why Lena works very little, only 2 hours on ice, practicing jumps and then standing around while others train, with Plushenko for 6 in the morning until 7 in the evening. In June the 7th, Evgeni Viktorovich asked her not to watch the training and to trust him. She then trusted him, but they got the results of a relapse of injuries in April, weight gains, and a height of 5 centimeters. She said she invested millions into Lena to just see the results that she wasn't expecting. Now we can understand Elena in this position that she has invested all this money into Lena and she wants to see her investment turn out. She wants Lena to be the absolute best, but as soon as she isn't allowed to be there on the ice rink and provide that pressure for Evgeni to coach and for Elena to be coached by her mum, the results are very different. She's injured, she isn't training much, and she gets second place. So does Elena need her mother's pressure in order to compete and do the best? Does Elena need to apply pressure to Plushenko in order to seek his best coaching? We won't know. Elena Kostyleva says that with being 2 months banned from entering the ice rink, Elena has not improved. There's no program, there's a lack of glide, program execution, and her spins are very poor since she joined Plushenko. Elena feels ashamed of Lena. Everything seems very weak. When she is there, she pushes not only Lena but Plushenko to work the absolute best. Most importantly, these issues Plushenko claims are fine and convinces Lena to not worry about it. Lena doesn't listen to her mum about the corrections. She also says that Lena doesn't do her program runs at all, only bit by bit, whereas other skaters work harder, like Sarnovska, who constantly skates her program multiple times. Elena says if she were Plushenko, she would have Lena skating now 6 Ultra C elements. She says if there are no results, failure of what she had, then why does she need to live in a little house by the rink where they're slowly ruining the athlete? She's already getting fewer GOEs for good jumps. And about the weight, Elena always makes sure Elena is fed with a well-balanced, high-calorie diet. But Nurgamanova in the summer was feeding high-calorie protein bars to Elena, not one but multiple, after 8 p.m. Only when she's immobile, injured, do they try to reduce the food. She says it's frustrating because they're feeding her chocolate and it ruins the ideal weight she needs to be. Every time she's getting bigger, Elena says this fatness would lead to just injuries with her legs or if her knee gives up and she ends her career. She just doesn't understand why they are feeding her a lot and she's gaining this amount of weight, because ultimately she will be able to break her legs, because with the weight gains there's a lot of pressure of your legs to carry and they cause a lot of injuries. Plus she already has problems with her knee and it can pop out at any time, and this will also cause her to literally end her career, and all this investment that Elena Kostyleva has spent millions will just go down the drain. Plushenko doesn't care to even know the weight and height of his best skater. She claims that within a month of coaching, Elena had raised and done the job of Plushenko, and Lena was at her best, performing clean and had won. Plushenko, while he banned Elena, ruined the progress, and Elena had second with being overweight, looking like a hockey player. Then Elena says, and now you want me to stay quiet? Elena claims that with the amount of resources Plushenko has, he can't even prioritize his best skater. He's giving more time to less talented skaters at the academy. Before moving to Plushenko, Elena was progressing quickly and was the very best and unbeatable. Elena Kostyleva says that with the content that Elena has, she has to work hard. She can't afford to just train for 2 hours standing around doing a couple of jumps and not even doing her program. Back in April, when Lena had worked hard every day in training, she told her mum that she couldn't even imagine that skating 5 Ultra C elements clean twice per day would be this easy. She claims she did this because she skated, and if she didn't skate, she would fall from triples soon. Again, Elena's mum compares to Sofia Sarnovska, who seems to have 50 tries of Ultra C elements, 5 ice sessions a day at Angels of Plushenko. A personal skater at the general training, 10 combinations to music for Ultra C, all under his guidance, and Elena, the same age, has 10 jumps in a combination, not 30 like Sarnovska. She doesn't understand the favoritism and how this is allowed. So now Elena is breaking her promise of not going to training because the results are very different to when she is and not present during training. Despite all of this, Elena wins the Kids Awards for the most popular girl in the sports category. This is so much pressure because it is crystal clear when Elena's mum is present, Elena performs her maximum, her best. When she's not, things tear apart, and the hard work that Elena Kostyleva has put into Elena kind of goes down. And this is kind of the repeat of a pattern that there isn't a lot of pressure. That maybe Elena works better under pressure. It might not be a good environment or maybe not sustainable, but maybe that's how she brings the absolute best. Plushenko then explained that the mum blogger, Elena Kostyleva, was repeatedly warned that the rules are established at the academy's territory and it should be followed. She has to behave respectfully to those who have provided for the child to live and study. She was removed from training facilities for several reasons. First, for swearing and insulting coaches, athletes, and their parents in public. Second, cruel treatment of her own child in the locker room and on the academy's territory using physical force. A fire has been reported to the Child Protection Policy, and footage of Elena's mum hitting her daughter multiple times was sent to be refused and questioned her guardianship. But it works because Elena Kostyleva has become obsessed with posting on social media. She has told many times to not film other skaters at the academy and give their information about their training. But Lena has a wonderful dad who loves Lena very much and understands her well. He communicates calmly with the entire coaching staff and not one thinks of blocking him. The dad attends all of Lena's practices. He can give up a good observation about the quantity and quality of training, since he was a professional athlete himself. He also works at the academy. Both the dad and Lena asked to remove the mum from the training because of the reasons provided. Plushenko also explains that last season was a very successful because they improved her jump content from 2 jumps of quad jumps that she came with, but adding 5 Ultra C elements. He also says he financially supports the family. He provided a house on a private territory by the pond for the whole family to live with, and all utilities are paid for. Second, Elena has completely free education in the Olympic Reserve School. Third, all additional sessions with any requested specialist. Last year alone, Elena spent more than 300 hours in additional sessions, 300 hours daily extra training, which individually ice time is very costly and can be very expensive, with approximately $19,000 spent just last year. Medical care, examinations, treatments, procedures, rehabilitation, and sport medicine were all provided for free. The cost of costumes for Elena is significantly exceeded to the amount allocated by the FFKKR. Accommodations and flights were all paid for free. The athlete travels with her second coach at the competition. Prize money for their academy in every prize place, equipment, and Elena's rest with her mother in a 5-star hotel. A personal manager, a psychotherapist to support the endless demands that Elena's mom has that she's never satisfied with. So Plushenko provides a lot financially for the family. And it seems that Elena's mom doesn't really take account that Elena lives practically free. Everything is paid for, including Elena's mom. She doesn't need to work. Everything is paid for the academy. All she needs to do is respect that. But she seems that she doesn't care about that. She is demanding even more. She wants her daughter to be the absolute best. A juvenile affairs commission visited Elena Kostyleva. They claimed that she forced her daughter to exercise, criticizing her too much and harming her emotional well-being. Elena admitted she scolds her daughter for training poorly and for eating sweets or eating them at night because of weight concerns and her sport career. She explains that the scratches on her face was because of arguing after training. She covered her daughter's mouth, she says, with force, and Lena scratched her during the struggle. Lena told the commission she loved her mum but doesn't want her at training because she scolds her afterwards. Elena thinks this whole situation is ridiculous because strict discipline is normal in figure skating. The commission decided she is guilty under Article 5.35 Part 1 of improper parenting and gave her an official warning. She believes this is unfair and plans to take this into court. So this is crazy that it's gone even to the legal point where Plushenko reported Elena Kostyleva's mum about the abuse that she holds under her daughter. The scolding, the arguing, the behavior that she experiences on daily. And if she can do it in public, she probably does it 10 times harder at home, which is just crazy. If she doesn't take it into a formal warning and continues, then Elena will be taken away and Elena's mum will lose her guardianship over Elena. Elizaveta Nukamanova worked with Elena Kostyleva over 6 months, and Elena began sending long messages and voice notes, 5 to 8 minutes, telling her how to coach Elena. Elena ran into the ice, insulting the coach, swore in front of the children. Nukamanova witnessed Elena repeatedly humiliating Lena with extremely harsh comments. Also, she saw Elena physically hit Lena in the stomach. Nukamanova reported this to the academy's administrators and security, crying because she felt sorry for Lena. Lena told her that something needs to be done. Contacting Yana Rudkovskaya, authorities came in the next day. After these incidents, Elena removed Nukamanova from Lena's training. Nukamanova gave testimony to the police and guardianship authorities. Everything was documented. She said that the entire Angels of Plushenko team also tried to protect Lena and asked Elena many times to change her behavior. And after all of this, Elena became even more aggressive. Guys, this situation is just shocking and more stories are coming out. Everything is documented. Before this, everything was kind of closed behind the doors. Elena Kostyleva also claims that it's not just her behavior. All of these mothers act the same at Angels of Plushenko. It's just that she chooses to document this and is more extreme with it because she wants the world to know the truth about what is going on behind the scenes. And if this is true and every parent is starving their children, doing the exact same thing that Kostyleva's mum is doing, then this is just appalling, and the environment is just so beyond this sport completely, and it all messes up with the psychological of a child. This is a literal child. She is a prodigy, she is very talented, but she's being exploited to the very maximum and extreme. There's nothing wrong with Elena Kostyleva wanting the very best for her child. She has invested a lot. She wants her to be the very best. But there comes a boundary that she cannot act like that. If she really wanted to, she can say it behind closed doors, but not in front of skaters. Don't swear or hit your child in the public. There's so many different ways that you can explain to your child calmly about it. And if she really wants to seek investment on her return, then she needs to find a different academy or something else, but not repeatedly praising Plushenko and then arguing with him, because that's what's happening. She praises him to being a good coach and then saying that he's not doing enough and that she needs to work harder. Elena Kostyleva ultimately doesn't actually hold any coaching rights. She doesn't know what is actually best for her daughter. Yes, she might put this pressure, and Plushenko is doing his very best to uphold this, and Elena is doing her very best in skating, but this is short term. What will happen in the long run? What will happen then? Will she even sustain? Will she ever go to the seniors and compete her way to the Olympics? Because this is what it's really about. We don't know. If she's being applied this much pressure to work harder at 14 years old, and Elena's aim is to compete for as long as possible for the age of 20s into 26 and do Ultra C elements, then the approach must be more steadier. This environment is just so unstable and chaotic, and one cannot grow. We feel really sorry for Elena Kostyleva because she is in the center of all of this drama going on. What do you guys think about this? Let me know your thoughts down below.